Paul Teutul Jr. was a talented motorcycle builder known for his work on American Chopper. But his life behind the scenes held a hidden tragedy so terrible he had to leave the show. His journey was marred by bitter rivalries, legal battles, and intense family feuds, especially with his father, Paul Sr. Fans watched in shock as their dramatic conflicts unfolded on TV. But what really happened that marked a turning point between father and son? Let us reveal the untold story of Paul Teutul Jr. that the media do not want you to know. Paul Jr. start in family garage to big fame. On a regular day back in 1972, specifically on October 2nd, Paul Teutul Sr. and his wife Paula had their first son. They named him after his dad, setting the stage for what would turn into incredible travel. Little did they know their newborn would one day become a standout personality in the motorcycle world. Growing up, Paul Jr. couldn't help but be captivated by his dad's love for motorcycles, a passion that deeply influenced his own career path. He and his siblings, Michael, Kristen, and Daniel, saw firsthand how their dad's business, Orange County Iron Works, thrived. From a tender age, Paul Jr. was right there, soaking up all the details of metalworking and craft. By the time he was 12 years old, Paul Jr. was already spending his summers at the family business. He quickly earned a reputation as someone who could pick up skills fast. Those early days were filled with simple dreams for Paul, dreams of emulating his father, who was his biggest hero. Despite the eventual ups and downs they would face on and off the screen, Paul kept nurturing his skills in metalworking, especially after joining a vocational training program during high school. This program was a game changer, enhancing his abilities and solidifying his path in the industry. While most kids his age were exploring different hobbies or traveling during their summer breaks, Paul Jr. was mostly at his father's shop, mingling with adults and mastering skills uncommon for someone so young. This unique childhood environment made him grow up quickly. Following high school, Paul didn't chase after college degrees. Instead, he threw himself into working full-time at Orange County Iron Works. As the years passed, Paul moved up within the company, eventually leading the railing shop section. The Teutul family's life was about to take an exciting turn. It all began when Paul Sr. started to explore building motorcycles as a hobby. This hobby quickly turned into something bigger, a thriving business venture. Although it seemed like a long shot initially, Paul Jr. watched this new venture grow with keen interest and soon became an integral part of it. In 1999, something major happened. Recognizing his son's sharp skills in metalworking, Paul Sr. brought Jr. into the motorcycle customization world. That moment marked the official start of Orange County Choppers. But there's more. The founding of Orange County Choppers was quite the bold endeavor. In 1999, driven by a strong vision, Paul Sr. set up the business at 10 Factory Street in Montgomery, New York, and later moved to 27 Stonecastle Road in Rock Tavern, New York. Within 3 years, the business had made a name for itself as one of the top custom motorcycle builders in the country. The unique bikes and outstanding craftsmanship soon attracted the attention of the Discovery Channel. By December 2002, the Teutuls were on TV, not just showing off their incredible motorcycles, but also letting the world in on the dynamic and engaging life of a family deeply embedded in the art of motorcycle building. For many Americans, the first time they tuned into American Chopper, they were instantly hooked. The show delivered a mix of high-drama moments and captivating characters, paired with the meticulous craftsmanship involved in creating some of the most stunning motorcycles ever seen. This combination struck a chord with viewers, especially young ones, igniting a love for the thrill of riding bikes, capturing that feel of breaking free and heading into the sunset, much like the rebels of cinema lore. American Chopper wasn't just another TV show. It became a cornerstone for many fans, profoundly influencing their interests and even their lives. Unlike typical reality TV that often features scripted interactions, American Chopper stood out because it showcased real people. The cast, including Paul Teutul Sr., his son Paul Teutul Jr., and their crew, Jason Pohl, Vincent DiMartino, Cody Connolly, Michael Teutul, among others, were genuine craftsmen and enthusiasts. They weren't just playing parts, they were real-life builders whose passion for motorcycles transcended the screen, going beyond the fame and financial benefits they gained from the show. The show's popularity soared quickly, transforming the bike shop from a relatively small venture into a major player in the motorcycle world. They expanded into a massive $12 million, 61,000 square foot facility in Newburgh, a testament to the show's success and the quality of their work. However, this period of growth didn't last forever. By 2011, the company faced significant financial difficulties, leading Paul Sr. to hand over the ownership to GE Commercial Finance Business Corporation to avoid a complete shutdown. Despite these challenges, they managed to retain a part of their space by leasing it, holding on to what had become a significant part of their lives. And that's not the end of it. For Paul Jr., Orange County Choppers was far more than just a stepping stone to fame. It felt like home. His primary role as chief designer and master builder elevated the shop's status and influence in the industry. With his incredible talent and vision, he designed and built bikes that amazed both audiences and his colleagues at the shop. But his impact wasn't limited to just crafting bikes. His strong personality and presence on the show also won him a wide fan base. Even after he moved on from the show, he leveraged his popularity to build a substantial business of his own, which remains successful to this day. Just as the Teutul family's business was growing, a big fight would change their relationships and future. Big clash between Paul Jr. and Sr. One of the most memorable moments on American Chopper was the intense fight between Paul Jr. and his father. This wasn't just a minor argument. It was a major conflict that became iconic, spread through memes, and detailed in numerous YouTube videos. This confrontation wasn't just a moment for viewers to talk about. It marked a big change in their personal and professional relationships, leading to the show's cancellation. Let's look at what happened on that impactful day when the dreams and hopes built around Orange County Choppers seemed to fall apart. Working with family can often lead to tricky situations, a lesson that Paul Jr. and his father, Paul Sr., learned the hard way on their show American Chopper. Their joint business venture, meant to bring them closer, ended up straining their personal relationship to the breaking point. Looking back at the dramatic events at Orange County Choppers, the story of Paul Jr. is especially unforgettable. His big clash with his father before the show's downfall is still talked about. Their ongoing disputes, which often turned into full-blown arguments, risked not just their business, but their family bonds as well. Before social media buzzed with Kim Kardashian's lost earring or the drama of the Real Housewives, it was Paul Jr. and Sr. who were at the center of TV drama with their endless fights. Regular viewers of the show might have gotten used to their fights, with some even eagerly waiting for these fiery exchanges. But things reached a peak in a particularly explosive episode in Season 5. On that memorable day, Paul Jr. arrived late to work, which was common for him, but this time it sparked a serious outburst from his father. Paul Sr., who prided himself on treating all his employees equally, saw his son's lateness as a breach of their professional standards. But this wasn't the worst part. When Jr. walked into the shop at 4:28 p.m., you could see the irritation in Sr.'s eyes. He managed to keep his cool for a moment, but quickly called Jr. into his office. Once there, Sr. didn't hold back, expressing his frustration over Jr.'s constant lateness. What started as a firm reprimand quickly turned into a heated argument. Sr. was upset, feeling he shouldn't have to constantly monitor his own son, who was fully grown. Things escalated from there. Instead of trying to understand his father's point of view, Jr. lost his temper too. They began yelling, their words growing harsher, completely ignoring each other's feelings. But this wasn't the end of the drama. Things spiraled further out of control when Sr. started listing every instance Jr. had broken their agreements. Pushed to his limit, Jr. picked up a chair and threw it across the room, an impulsive act that led to his firing from both the garage and the TV show. This intense argument didn't just mark the end of Jr.'s job, it also became a viral sensation, immortalizing their fierce family feud in a widely shared meme, letting everyone on the internet witness the dramatic fallout. For 10 long years, Paul Sr. and his son, Paul Jr., were locked in a bitter conflict, with lawsuit after lawsuit flying between them, completely ruining their father-son relationship. After Paul Jr. exit from the show, you might think things would settle down, but instead they got worse. Paul Sr. took it a step further by legally challenging his own son, opening a new and very public chapter in their ongoing feud. Despite Paul Jr. being off the show, his father still seemed determined to fight him, pushing him further away from the family. Getting Jr. out of the business was not simple since he owned a 20% stake in the company, a stake he wasn't ready to give up without a serious fight. Before Jr. got US firing, his share wasn't a big issue, but now Sr. was insistent that Jr. could no longer have any control over the business. So they ended up in court, father and son opposing each other in what looked like the biggest legal battle of the century, all under the watchful eyes of the public. The legal showdown was as dramatic as any episode on their show. The Supreme Court of New York was the stage for this family drama turned legal battle. Paul Sr., who started the legal fight, argued that his company, Orange County Choppers Holding Inc., had the right to buy out his son's shares, effectively cutting all business ties. He even sent a formal letter to Paul Jr., offering to buy his 20% stake for $500,000. On top of this, the lawsuit demanded an extra $1 million in damages, presenting this as a way for Jr. to reduce his financial losses. Initially, the legal tide seemed to favor Paul Sr., with the court ruling that Jr. must sell his shares in the company. But Jr. wasn't the type to give up easily. With determination, he appealed the court's decision, challenging the buyout option offered to him. But this wasn't the end. Paul Sr.'s lawyers vigorously defended the initial ruling, arguing their case with determination. However, the appeal judges saw things differently. In a surprising turn of events, all 4 judges unanimously ruled in favor of Paul Jr., surprising everyone who had been following the saga. It was a plot twist that seemed straight out of a television drama, anticipated by many, but truly seen by none. Although this legal victory favored Paul Jr., it deeply hurt his relationship with his father. For a whole decade, the two didn't exchange a single word. But life goes on. Despite the end of his time on American Chopper, new doors were opening for Paul Jr. It was time for him to step into new projects and explore fresh opportunities, leaving the past and its battles behind to carve out new paths. After the tough breakup with his father, Paul Jr. had to find his own way in the custom motorcycle world. Paul Jr., his new start with fresh ideas. You know how they say when one door shuts, another opens? Well, that was exactly the case for Paul Teutul Jr. After parting ways with his father, Paul was in quite a bind. He had left his job at his father's company, Orange County Customs, but there was a catch in his contract, a non-compete clause that stopped him from opening his own custom motorcycle shop for a full year after he left. This clause was a real thorn in his side because it kept him from immediately following his dreams of starting his own business. As soon as that year was over, Paul wasted no time getting his plans in motion. By April 2010, rumors began circulating that he was plotting to open his own motorcycle shop to directly compete with his father's business. Word on the street, and particularly from the celebrity gossip site TMZ, was that Paul Jr. was looking to bring some of his old colleagues from OCC who also felt mistreated. This included people like Paul Teutul, Vinny DiMartino, Joe Puglia, and Robert Collard, all key figures at Orange County Customs who had played major roles in the company. In a move that confirmed some of these rumors, Paul Jr. went on to announce his new business venture, Paul Jr. Designs. In this new setup, he decided to bring just one of his dad's former employees, Cody Connolly, on board. With the launch of this new company, a fresh wave of drama rolled in, dredging up past tensions and setting the stage for more intense confrontations. Following a rocky exit from the public eye back in 2008, Paul Teutul Jr. returned to the television scene with a brand new show titled American Chopper, Sr. vs. Jr. This series kicked off on August 12, 2010 on the TLC network and dove straight into the ongoing rivalry between Orange County Choppers, still run by Paul Teutul Sr., and the newly formed Paul Jr. Designs. The series spanned 4 seasons, running until 2012. Over these 2 years, viewers got a front-row seat to the fiery clashes between father and son, witnessing their battles over motorcycle design superiority, and their frequent personal disputes that often echoed beyond the confines of their professional competition. Despite the initial buzz, the show struggled to keep viewers hooked and was eventually canceled by 2012. Stay tuned for more. With the end of Senior versus Junior, the distance between Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. only widened further. The two barely spoke to each other anymore. But Paul Jr. wasn't quite ready to step back. He was gearing up to reveal yet another aspect of their complicated relationship. He was about to expose more layers to the story of their fallout, layers that went deeper than what had been shown on television, promising to shed new light on the intricate dynamics of their father-son relationship. Back on November 7, 2017, Paul Teutul Jr. dropped his very first book titled The Build Designing My Life of Choppers, Family, and Faith. This was a big deal for many who had been watching the ups and downs between Paul and his dad over the years. With the release of his book, Paul Jr. was ready to tell everything from his perspective. Although the TV show gave us a glimpse of their rocky relationship, it seems the off-camera drama was even more intense. After the book came out, Paul Jr. shared that the book was originally supposed to be published in fall 2016, but things didn't go as planned. However, he felt the delay worked out perfectly. By the time the book was released, the tension between him and his dad was making headlines. His shop had just finished up, and everyone was curious to hear his side of the story. In The Build, Paul Jr. opens up about the tough parts of being thrust into the spotlight. He admits that while the fame strained his relationship with his dad, there were some positive aspects, except for the overwhelming amount of work it brought. For anyone who ever wondered if their on-screen fights were just for show, Paul Jr. made it clear from the first page that the drama was all too real. He wrote, "For 10 seasons and 233 one-hour episodes, my father and I were often a relational train wreck, as hard to look away from as it was to watch. And yes, it was all real." Right at the start, he takes readers deep into his childhood and the struggles of growing up with a father like his, who he described as tyrannical. It turns out that Paul Sr. struggled with alcoholism, which heavily strained his family life. This wasn't a new issue. Paul Jr. revealed that his dad had grown up with an alcoholic mother and parents who were more likely to argue than show any warmth.
This discovery led the team to ponder the rumors that had been circulating about a potential spacecraft buried under Skinwalker Ranch. Could there be any truth to these stories? The advanced nature of the materials and the sophisticated engineering evident in their structure suggested that there might be something to these rumors. The use of such rare and high-tech materials in a clearly structured way hinted at a level of technological sophistication that seemed beyond simple natural formations. The implications of finding such materials buried deep beneath the mesa were profound. Not only did it raise questions about the origin and purpose of these materials, but it also opened up a whole range of possibilities about the history of the site itself. Was it possible that at some point in the past, an advanced civilization or even extraterrestrial visitors had left behind this technologically advanced material? The thought was both exciting and daunting. With their latest discoveries in mind, the team prepared themselves to explore even deeper into the ranch, probing the dome-like structure. Fueled by these findings, the team was more determined than ever to continue their exploration. They planned to conduct more drills, take more samples, and perform more detailed analyses. Each layer of soil and rock they removed could bring them closer to understanding the true nature of what lay beneath the mesa. This ongoing investigation was not just about exploring physical materials. It was also about delving into the unknown realms of science and technology. The team was on the edge of potentially discovering something that could redefine current understanding of technology and history. As they prepared for the next phases of their exploration, the team remained mindful of the challenges they faced. Drilling into such tough material was no easy feat, and the possibility of damaging their equipment was always present. Yet the potential rewards of uncovering more about this unusual site kept them going. Each day on the site brought new challenges, but also new potential for groundbreaking discoveries. The exploration at Skinwalker Ranch thus continued, with each finding adding a piece to the question. The team knew that each day could reveal something new, changing their understanding of what was possible. They remained committed to uncovering whatever truths lay hidden beneath the surface, driven by a combination of scientific curiosity and a desire to explore the limits of human knowledge and technology. And that's not all. At the drilling location, a person was watching the workers from a higher vantage point on the road that overlooks the drilling area. Suddenly, the ground shook beneath him. It was a brief tremor, much shorter than a typical earthquake, but it felt similar. In the midst of this sudden tremble, an astonishing event occurred. A white, spherical, and semi-transparent object zoomed across the sky. It moved swiftly, but it was distinct enough to be seen and identified. The research team had gathered an impressive set of equipment to investigate this unusual event more thoroughly. They set up 3 large laser units, each capable of emitting several hundred watts, along with a high-frequency laser scanner operating at 1.6 gigahertz. The lasers were arranged in a triangular formation, all directed upwards towards a particular area in the sky known for causing disruptions in light and navigation systems. In this spot, both lasers and GPS devices had previously malfunctioned, suggesting some type of invisible barrier. By directing the 1.6 gigahertz signal from one of the lasers straight into this area, they hoped to penetrate this unseen barrier. Additionally, the team had obtained a large rocket from Lock Precision intended to be launched into this fascinating area. Upon reaching above 5,000 feet, the rocket was designed to deploy a parachute and descend through this zone, releasing chalk dust at various altitudes to outline any invisible features, akin to dusting an unseen shape with flour. The initial launch was planned to clearly mark this area, followed by another launch equipped with more detectors to collect detailed information on radiation and gamma rays. This exploration might provoke an extraordinary response from the zone. As the countdown commenced, everyone was filled with excitement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then something went wrong. The rocket's motor exploded. Amid the chaos and the potential risk of a fire from the scattered burning debris, the mood became tense.
From the highs of reconnecting with his father over a shared hobby to the lows of realizing his future might not include the family business, Paul Jr. offers a raw and unfiltered look into his life. In doing so, Paul Jr. encourages his audience to reflect on their own family relationships and professional aspirations. He highlights the importance of personal faith as a guiding force and the therapeutic power of pursuing one's passions. His story is not just about building bikes or running a business. It's about building a life amidst the chaos of family dynamics and personal convictions. Ultimately, Paul Jr. Nakwas' book is more than just a biography or a tale of a motorcycle enthusiast. It's a narrative about finding one's path, healing broken relationships, and staying true to one's beliefs, no matter how rough the road might get. It's a compelling read for anyone interested in stories of personal redemption, the intricacies of family-operated businesses, or the art of motorcycle maintenance, all woven together by the thread of faith and forgiveness. Working with Paul Sr. could be incredibly emotionally taxing. When he was finally let go, it wasn't so much a loss as it was a relief. The book's title, The Build, is not just clever wording. It's straightforward yet impactful, concise yet meaningful. In writing this book, Paul Jr. made sure to highlight the significant support of his wife, Paul Teutul. She wasn't just his main support system, she also played a crucial role as a fact-checker, ensuring that every tale and detail in the book was precisely accurate. And there's more to the story. Paul had been planning to write this book for quite some time. His main objective was to open up his world to the readers, hoping to provide them with a more comprehensive view of his personal and professional life. When you start reading the unique stories in the book, it feels like stepping into a world where reality is more bizarre than fiction and where family conflicts are openly displayed. The book is filled with surprising and sometimes shocking revelations, but overall, it deepens the reader's understanding of Paul Teutul Jr.'s life. Delving into the captivating stories of American Chopper, we encounter the heart-rending story of Paul Teutul Jr. from American Orange County Chopper. Despite being the offspring of a highly successful father, Paul Jr.'s story wasn't all smooth sailing. The photo featured in the book captures him in a particularly vulnerable moment where he shares the traumatic experiences that not only shaped his character, but also his relationship with his father. From early childhood drama to the televised disputes and legal confrontations, their relationship has been like a roller coaster, all unfolding under the public's watchful eye. With a fresh start in place, Paul Jr. faced the challenge of balancing his new projects with his past experiences. Teutul's last emotional ride together. Each chapter of the book peels back another layer of their complex father-son relationship, providing insights into their fiery clashes and the personal struggles that lurk beneath the surface. This book does more than just recount events. It invites readers into the very heart of a man who has spent much of his life in the limelight, wrestling with not just business challenges, but profound personal conflicts as well. In this intriguing story, the world seems to have taken sides. Some cheer for the dad, others root for the son. It's tricky picking a side, since both the father and the son have good points that sway people their way. Who do you think is at fault for the tension in their relationship? The dad or the son? Drop your opinion in the comments below. American Chopper rolled out a special episode that delved deep into the family feuds, legal disputes, and the intense rivalries between Paul Teutul Jr. and his son. The drama reached its height in August 2020 when the pair decided to put their past disagreements behind them and come together for one last show. The news of this 2-hour special thrilled fans, making a seemingly impossible dream come true. For a decade, this father-son team had captivated their audience with thrilling escapades, and after countless efforts to patch up their rocky relationship, they decided to go back to where it all started, their garage. They were hopeful that working together on a custom bike could reawaken the love they once shared and help mend their frayed relationship. Stay tuned for more. This episode, heavy with emotion, kicks off with Paul Teutul Jr. and Sr. discovering that the iconic Orange County Choppers building was slated for demolition. This revelation touches everyone deeply, bringing even the strongest to tears. Overwhelmed by the memories housed within those walls, Paul Jr. seizes the moment to suggest that they build a bike together one last time. After some contemplation, Paul Sr. agrees, and they embark on creating a custom chopper for ABC Supply Company, one of the largest suppliers of building products. This project, filled with sentimental value and hopes for reconciliation, is an emotional roller coaster that appeals to longtime enthusiasts and new viewers alike, marking a poignant chapter in their tumultuous yet captivating path. When Paul Jr. and Sr. set out to work on their last project together, they faced some rough patches, just like in the old days. They were both aiming to create an exceptional chopper, but their creative ideas clashed. Paul Jr. wanted more control over the design, which almost put the whole project at risk. This situation reminded everyone of the early days of their show when tensions were always high. Thankfully, this time they found a way to get past their differences. With only 8 weeks to complete the task, they managed to build an incredible chopper. This masterpiece was not just a bike. It was a symbol of their patched-up relationship and a grand finale to their legendary TV show, which had captivated viewers for years. Following this project, Paul Jr. Designs didn't just sit back. The shop kept buzzing, turning out custom bikes and stylish apparel continuously. Some of their most notable bikes include designs like the Pharaoh bike, the Cadillac bike, and the New York Yankees bike. Each of these bikes shows off Paul Jr.'s ability to blend artistic vision with functionality. Besides bikes, Paul Jr. has been involved in creative projects for films and video games, designing bikes that fit into different storytelling universes. But his creativity doesn't stop there. He's also taken on community projects like designing a local dog park, a playground set for kids, and a special edition Coleman barbecue grill for its 10th anniversary. His company keeps strong ties with Paul Sr.'s business, providing jobs to many of its former employees. On a more personal note, Paul Jr.'s life has been full of joyful milestones. He married Rachel Beisner in 2010, and their wedding was featured on the TLC show Say Yes to the Dress, giving fans a glimpse into their special day. The couple welcomed their son Hudson in 2015, adding even more happiness to their lives. In 2020, they took a significant step by purchasing their dream home on Long Beach Island, a place where they can create many more family memories. Through his successful career and various ventures, Paul Jr. has accumulated a net worth of about $2 million. This financial stability, combined with a flourishing professional life and a happy family, suggests that Paul Jr. is on a trajectory that continues to rise. Paul Jr.'s story, from a turbulent relationship with his father on a reality TV show to becoming a successful entrepreneur and family man is a tale of transformation and resilience. Through the ups and downs, he has managed to carve out his own path, finding success in both his professional endeavors and his personal life. His story is not just about building motorcycles, it's about building a life that, despite early struggles, is filled with achievement and joy. With each new project, whether it's a custom bike or a community playground, Paul Jr. demonstrates that creativity and collaboration can lead to remarkable outcomes. Did Paul Teutul Jr. really deserve all the blame for the family feuds? Or is there more to the story that we haven't seen? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.